Let's get ready to meet some Hall of Famers. What do you say? That's why we're here today. Before we do that, let me introduce some special guests that we have with us on a homecoming weekend. First of all, as I said earlier, we want to thank Commerce Bank and Trust for their sponsorship and their support of our event. They've been with us since 2016, and we're so pleased and proud to have them as our sponsor. I know today we have a couple of folks that I want to introduce. We have the Senior Vice President for Commerce of Central Region, Lyle Johnson, who's on his way up. I think he's going to give us a few comments. So Lyle, thank you for being here. I know we also have Columbia President of the Columbia Market, Sarah Dubert, that joins us today. So Sarah, thank you for being here as well and your support. There are a couple of Mizzou alums that I know will celebrate homecoming appropriately this weekend. So Lyle, thank you very much.
Thanks, Todd. Yeah, I'm a class of 93, very proud of that. Lived here in Columbia, lived here all my life. And Commerce Bank, Commerce Trust, and the University of Missouri have had a long and very healthy relationship, and we're very proud to sponsor this event from the beginning every year. And we're also proud to welcome home our recipients. And everybody have a great homecoming. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Lyle. We are also pleased to welcome several university leaders. In fact, we have so many university leaders here today. I'm not going to introduce them all. I definitely could. But we have so many awesome leaders that are here today. But let me start with a few for sure. I know we have a few curators that join us today. Curator Robin Winokur is here today. Robin? Curator Keith Holloway is here as well. Keith? General Counsel for the University of Missouri, Mark Mangini, joins us today. Mark. Our Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Latha Ramchan. Latha. We have several deans and directors that are here today, and I would love to be able to introduce them all, but there's a lot of them, and we got a lot to do today during this ceremony. So you just give them a hand for what they do for the University of Missouri. So proud to work alongside them every day to make Mizzou stronger, so I appreciate them being here today. This is a big weekend for Mizzou. It's also a big weekend for alumni as we welcome home our alumni for homecoming. Our Alumni Association is very proud to be sort of the tip of the spear with homecoming activities, and the president of our board of directors joins us today from St. Louis. Welcome, Mindy Mazer. Mindy? You're going to meet a special group of students who helps put this whole thing together, but another special group that joins us today are our homecoming royalty candidates. You're going to see them on the field at halftime tomorrow. I think a lot of them are sitting right over here. Please stand up and be recognized. Ten outstanding students that represent our student body so well, and no, we don't make them wear the sash all week. I promise you. They get to take it off every once in a while, so thank you all very much. Appreciate it. So finally, we definitely want to recognize some previous Hall of Fame inductees who are joining us this afternoon. We've been doing this since 2016, and so we have three individuals that I want to introduce. Please stand when I call your name. Jim Fitterling, Hall of Fame class of 2022. William Trogdon, Hall of Fame class of 2018. And Don Walsworth, Hall of Fame class of 2021. Welcome home to our former Hall of Famers. It's great to have you with us today. At this time, please welcome the most energetic person on our campus. I'm going to give you a run for your money this weekend, all right? But the most energetic person we have on our campus, please welcome the president of the University of Missouri, Dr. Moon Choi.
Thank you, and good afternoon. You know, it's homecoming. You know what's very special about this homecoming? Well, yeah, no, I know that. I've been here 7 years, I know that, but we're ranked number 20 in the country. How about that? That'll make it a very special homecoming, and we are gonna recognize three outstanding alums that deserve our respect for what they were able to accomplish in their professional and personal careers. But before I do that, let me ask the tri-chairs of homecoming to stand. Where are you, the tri-chairs? There should be three, I think. And they have worked so hard. In addition to the tri-chairs, the homecoming steering committee. And the homecoming royalty. Keep standing. And all the other students at the university. Please stand. We are so proud of them, and among this group, there will be a many future Hall of Fame inductees. The Mizzou Hall of Fame recognizes alumni that have made seminal contributions to the profession, and they also exemplify the core values of excellence, discovery, respect, and responsibility, while at the same time inspiring their community as they go about their important work. Our three inductees today are truly exceptional. We have with us Margaret Ho. Margaret, a graduate of the journalism program and a renowned journalist and the former standards editor of the Chicago Tribune. At the Tribune, she introduced groundbreaking and innovative approaches to bring ethics to reporting. And you are back to the campus after 2 years. Welcome back. Great to have you. Sarah Parker Pauley is the director of the Missouri Department of Conservation. Her transformational leadership in preserving our environment will be appreciated for generations to come. And she is joined by her husband, Scott, and her family members. They're sitting right over there. And you were last on campus on Monday. So welcome back. Great to have you. And she is a proud graduate of journalism as well as the School of Law. Mr. Roger Riney is the founder of the brokerage firm Scott Trade. Scott Trade was a pioneer in online trading with over 170 billion in assets under management. But more important than those numbers, it's the opportunity provided for the small investor to participate in the American dream of trading in stocks and bonds. You made dreams come true, and we are so happy that you joined us today with your wife, Paula. Paula, welcome. And you were last on campus 9 years ago, so welcome home. We're gonna learn about these three leaders, and our students will announce them, but let's give them a big round of applause for their accomplishments and their support for the University of Missouri. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, President Choi, and it's going to be a great weekend on campus. It's now time to induct our honorees, and I think it's so special. We do this at homecoming. I think one of the special things about Mizzou homecoming is we have obviously a grand tradition, and we have had so many traditional events through the years, but the blend of new and some of our long-established traditions is really the fun part of it all. I think about it when every homecoming, and just kind of right down over the hill over there is where Rollins Field was, and that was our first homecoming game back in 1911. And that was a long time ago. Certainly there's a lot of history around that. And Chester Brewer at the time, our athletic director, had an issue, right? It was our first home game against that rival to the west. They came over to play us. That game, the first 20 years of his existence, took place in Kansas City and St. Joe. He had two fan bases that could attend that game, and it always drew a huge crowd. And the ticket sales really helped our athletic department at that time. Well, we had to move it to campus based on a rule passed by the Missouri Valley Conference. And so they moved that game to Mizzou, and Chester Brewer wanted to make sure it was a success. So he worked with the Alumni Association, he worked with the campus to invite all alumni home. There was a parade, there was a bonfire, there was a pep rally, a lot of the same things we have today, although we haven't done a bonfire for a while. That's probably against the rules these days. But all those things that are traditional homecoming. And after that weekend, a tradition was born. We are now considered the birthplace of homecoming. Some people try to argue that. We don't listen to them because we know the truth. And it's in our blood. It's what we do as Mizzou Tigers. And so we are so glad to welcome you home. And this has been an important part of the tradition since 2016. This select honor, the Hall of Fame, is for those who have had exceptional success in their field and who highlight the breadth and the depth of our university's educational strengths and worldwide impact. Distinguished and notable alumni at one time were recognized as our homecoming parade grand marshals. We had that for many, many years. But since then, it has evolved into an official dedicated ceremony that we have today. With our first Hall of Fame class was inducted, as I said, in 2016. Our homecoming steering committee tri-directors will make our introductions today, and we'll begin with Jonathan Jane. Jonathan?
Good afternoon, Tigers. My name is Jonathan Jane, and I'm a journalism major from Kennett, Missouri. It is my honor to induct our first alum today. Margaret Holt, standards editor for the Chicago Tribune, built a renowned career in journalism over 50 years before retiring in 2022. When she was named to the Tribune's masthead, the editor described Margaret as a recognized pioneer and expert in reader engagement, diversity, and ethics. The accuracy program she led became a model for the industry, and Margaret was often invited to participate in workshops and media sessions around the country. Margaret graduated from the School of Journalism in 1973 and held journalism positions in downstate Illinois, Dallas, and Fort Lauderdale, Florida, joining the Chicago Tribune as its first woman sports editor in 1993. She was honored with the 2021 Lincoln League of Journalists Award by the Illinois APME and selected as one of the 20 most influential women in Chicago sports media history in 2022. Let's learn more about this incredible alumna.
Our job is to get things right, and it's to serve our readers. And part of that is owning mistakes.
Margaret's commitment to accuracy was unparalleled. She is someone who embodies Walter Williams' journalist creed every single day. Margaret and I first met when I was digital news editor at the Chicago Tribune. I got to know Margaret very well as she would walk through our newsroom, be a constant source of motivation and leadership.
Margaret's focus was inside the newsroom, improving policies and practices to make sure we were putting out the most accurate product every day.
When people in the newsroom weren't living up to the ideals of our profession, she was the one who would have those conversations about where things didn't go right, when stories weren't accurate.
Everyone knew this was something that the paper's reputation was tied to. And so when Margaret went to people, they generally complied. I'd say she helped create a different kind of culture at the Tribune. One in which we all took pride in being an example for the industry.
If you're going to enforce the standard, you have to be the standard. And she's the standard for that paper, and she is the standard for this journalism school. What she's done is felt everywhere and is hugely important.
I'm from Missouri, and I went to school at the University of Missouri in J School, Missouri. I'm still greatly tied to the campus. I'm on an alumni board. I feel very fortunate. I go back to campus a couple times a year and meet with students, and for me, being a part of that has been very important.
One of the things that is so cool about Margaret's love for Mizzou is that it's not just for the Missouri School of Journalism or the Honors College, but for Mizzou as a whole. She's looking and finding ways to support the University of Missouri and the Alumni Association in ways that go well beyond just what touched her personal experience as a student.
That's true public service. That's true love of what you're doing. And she has done that to the university, and she has done that for the profession of journalism. And as we all know, at our place, those go hand in hand. I read one time where you said, I know more about errors than anyone in Western civilization. Well, guess what? This isn't a mistake, and it doesn't require a correction. Congratulations, because you are a Hall of Famer.
You can often hear her say to others, I've been tolerated and I've been adored, and I much prefer to be adored. And it's exciting to be able to all be here today and celebrate how much we all do adore and appreciate Margaret Holt.
On behalf of the University of Missouri, it is my honor to induct Margaret Holt into the Mizzou Hall of Fame.
That's better than my golf trophies. Get Amy. Thank you so much.
We're supposed to stand behind you.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Well,
Dr. Choi tells us where to stand, we stay.
so when my friends and I were in our early 30s, we like to joke that you're an apprentice human being until you're 30. And I was that apprentice human being when I came to Mizzou. And I could never have imagined that I would be here today with this kind of recognition. Thank you. And I have a special thanks to my friend Amy for her help and work on the video. And I also want to thank Don Wycliffe and John Anderson. And I am so thrilled to see my friends Mary Randolph. We were buddies 50 plus years ago in high school. And my dear friend Rhonda Lavaldo, who is I know through the Native American Journalists Association, and has been so wonderful in welcoming me to that group, because although I'm a Native American, I did not grow up on a reservation, and so it's so important to have these ties with people who do help me understand some of the things that I didn't grow up with. And so I thank you for being here. It's such a, I'm so surprised. So welcome to you as well. A lot of people have a story like mine, and many of us hail from tiny little Missouri towns. I've always been a root from Missouri, proudly so, and no matter where my career took me. And I'm so grateful to the many people who've touched my life, from other students and faculty members to fellow Mizzou grads out in the field. When we started our accuracy and credibility initiative at the Tribune 25 years ago, we were swimming upstream. Journalists were loath to acknowledge mistakes. Over time, we built a culture that emphasized self-reporting and made a virtue out of learning from mistakes. And in the process, our newsroom got a lot of attention, and they liked that. So it was easier then. Our work was part of an industry-wide movement towards accountability and transparency. And it's gratifying to see how that has carried on. And I'm so proud to be a J School grad. And I am so proud of the many young people who still see our school for what it is, the world's first and best journalism school. And I thank them for keeping the faith despite this period when truth is under assault. We need you. In recent years, I had the privilege of serving on the Jefferson Club board, which brought me back to Columbia a couple times a year. I came a day or two early so that I could have a chance to meet with students or faculty, sometimes just to thank them, take them to dinner, and say how much those of us in the field appreciate the work that you are doing. Anyway, I was always so impressed and inspired. They were so much more aware and prepared, the students were, than I was at that point in my life. And their teachers were so thoughtful, so tuned in to all the advances in our profession. Our journalism school has survived and thrived because it has a foundation of bedrock values. And ultimately, journalism is about truth and community. I realize that people from other areas of the university can get a little annoyed with us journalism types. And to that, I say, hey, come on in. There's plenty of swagger for everyone. This is the state's beacon of higher education. We are so lucky to have this university and the commitment that people have to it. And I just cannot say enough about what that has meant to me all my life. And so it means something to say that you studied at the University of Missouri. And for me, it just makes being honored so much more special. So once again, thank you. I'm so overwhelmed, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again, Margaret. Hi, everybody. My name is Annie Watson, and I'm an electrical engineering and economics major from St. Louis, Missouri. It's my honor to recognize our next alum. Sarah Parker Pauley, director of the Missouri Department of Conservation, became the first woman to hold the position with her appointment in 2016. Under her leadership, the department's more than 1,700 employees carry forward the mission to protect and manage the fish, forest, and wildlife resources of the state. Sarah has a long track record of serving the state of Missouri, including her time as director of the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, chief of staff for the Speaker of the Missouri House of Representatives, and president of the Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies. A Columbia native, Sarah is a two-time Mizzou alumna and member of the Mizzou Alumni Association, earning her bachelor's in journalism in 1987 and a law degree in 1993. She was instrumental in the creation of the Johnny Morris Institute of Fisheries, Wetlands and Aquatic Systems at MU, which is a partnership between the College of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources, MDC, and the Missouri Conservation Heritage Foundation. Let's hear more from those who know her best.
She loves the state of Missouri. She loves serving the citizens of Missouri, and she loves making sure the fish and wildlife resources and the forests are there for the future. Soon after becoming the director of the Missouri Department of Conservation, Sarah Parker Pauley wanted to think about new models for how conservation is delivered.
She is a visionary leader who can dream about big ideas and make these dream ideas happen. About 6 years ago, I approached Sarah with one of our needs. Can we create a position for fisheries-related courses? That conversation morphed into creating the Johnny Morris Institute of Fisheries, Wetlands, and Aquatic Systems. It was Sarah's leadership that made it happen.
With this effort here through the university, one of our conversations was, how do we share good ideas and break down any barriers to knowledge? It's not just a Missouri thing. How can this impact the country? She's really dedicated her whole life to conservation. Her heart's right here in Missouri and the University of Missouri.
What does Sarah mean to the University of Missouri? Well, she means a lot to us. She's been a great friend, and she's a role model to our students.
All of our stories are really just one. There is the main character, the hero, and the hero's call to adventure. After the hero has survived life's trials and tribulations, the hero returns to use his or her calling to the benefit of others, their community, and the world.
Sarah's got to be deeply proud, and she should be, because she earned this. She's a hero to me in conservation, but also a hero in life. And I just admire her.
She's the real deal when it comes to thinking about Missouri and the great outdoors. There is no better person to receive this award. All well done.
On behalf of the University of Missouri, it is my privilege to induct Sarah Parker Pauley into the Mizzou Hall of Fame.
Okay, so I forgot my reading glasses, so we're going to see how this goes. I would borrow some, yeah. What are yours? Oh, bless you, Robin. Oh, you were such a dear friend. That's why I just leave them on my head. Well, I tell you, I cannot, Margaret, I'm with you. You just feel almost in shock and awe, and I'm just so incredibly grateful for the turnout here today and for this recognition. It was 37 years ago. It's so hard to believe. 37 years ago this weekend, the last time that I rode in the homecoming parade, and you betcha I'm riding in it tomorrow. I was a senior, soon to graduate with a journalism degree, unlikely sorority girl, as a sorority sister over here can attest to, that spent a little more time hunting and fishing and anything outdoors than partying at the frat houses like a few of my other sorority sisters did. I was an MU tennis player, not in the SEC nor the Big 12, but the Stone Ages of the Big 8. I was involved in campus, and especially the Alumni Association Student Board, very meaningful to me, and somehow I had made it onto the homecoming court, thus the parade. I remember the parade as a fabulous time. Our loss to Colorado was perhaps not that surprising. We did not have the football team we do today. But what I mostly remember as I think back 37 years is that I had no earthly idea what my future would hold. Would I get a job, and what in the world would I do that someone would pay me for? Still, amid the anxiety, I held on to the hope that somehow life would just take care of itself. So I told myself to savor the day, that day of homecoming, 1986. And so time passed, other adventures came and went, and other schooling too, law school in particular. I didn't know the Howard Thurman quote then about how one should decide what to do with their lives, and some of you may be familiar with this quote. Thurman said, "Ask what makes you come alive and go do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive." I didn't know the quote, but I innately knew its power and its truth. And what made me come alive and does to this day was the outdoors, was studying natural resource policy, the concept of public service, and ensuring a future where Missourians could enjoy the amazing natural resources that I was so fortunate to enjoy growing up. What also made me come alive was developing relationships with others to achieve even greater things. And now, hard to imagine, close to 4 decades later, I can say that I've been blessed beyond measure with a career that I am simply crazy about. And I could not have accomplished any of it without amazing and supportive family and colleagues and friends and partners, just like Mizzou. I wasn't a military kid, I was a university kid, because my father spent a good portion of his career here at the university. And just like I can't imagine growing up in a better town than Columbia, I really can't imagine attending any other institution than the University of Missouri. I love our land-grant mission. I love the concept of sharing knowledge with our communities and being of service to fellow Missourians. And I cannot imagine a greater partner for the Missouri Department of Conservation than our own land-grant institution, though yes, I might be just a little biased. As I look around this room, I am reminded of my very good fortune. A loving and very supportive family, amazing friends and colleagues, and an incredible community, and an alma mater that means the world to me. And so, thank you, Mizzou, for all you've provided to me and countless others. And as I look around the room at this accomplished group, and I know of the excellence of Mizzou alumni throughout the world, I have to say I have no earthly idea how I am standing up here or how I've earned this privilege. But I'm telling myself to take a deep breath and savor the day. So that's what I intend to do. So with that in mind, M-I-Z.
Congratulations, Sarah. And hello, Tigers. I'm Adela Keller, and I'm a marketing major from St. Louis, Missouri. It's my honor to introduce our next alum. Roger Riney founded Scottrade in 1980 to compete in the new business of discount stock brokerage. Under his leadership, the firm expanded to 3 million client accounts and 170 billion in assets under management, with over 500 branches in 48 states. In 2015, Roger was diagnosed with multiple myeloma and made the difficult decision to sell the firm to TD Ameritrade in 2017. 3 years later, Schwab acquired TD Ameritrade as the industry continued to consolidate. Roger graduated from the College of Engineering in 1968 before earning an MBA from the Robert J. Trulas College of Business in 1969. He and his wife lead the Paula and Roger Riney Foundation, which supports research into uncovering a cure for multiple myeloma and related cancers, a cause close to his heart as a cancer survivor. The foundation has also supported research into neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Let's learn more about Roger.
Hundreds of people have been lining up outside Scottrade Center.
Scottrade Center.
Scottrade Center.
When he started Scottrade, he had a vision.
I'm Roger Riney. I started Scottrade to take care of online investors like nobody else.
We had actually an employee meeting at Scottrade Center, thousands of employees there. And afterwards, I sat down with him and I said, did you ever imagine having something this large and to be at a place like this? And he's like, well, of course I did. He never wavered from that vision.
He's just an extremely likable guy, and that's why people loved working for him. He comes across as a very genuine person.
He's also passionate about making a difference, not only in his community, but to his employees. In 2017, when Roger was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, he immediately set about trying to help others.
The philanthropy that the Riney family has put forward to pursue research and therapeutic options for multiple myeloma, and the countless dedicated researchers that we work with around the world, just a relentless mission and vision to try to positively impact outcomes for multiple myeloma patients.
I would characterize Roger as a combination of a very determined man, a visionary, an entrepreneur, and a very humble, honorable, trustworthy leader of men.
He's obviously, a very successful entrepreneur, had a lot of business success in his career. But I think more importantly, he's just a really good person.
He would often say to me, are you having fun? Because he was every single day. He loved every moment of it. Mizzou created a great culture for learning. And I think Roger, you saw that all through his career because he was very analytical. And I think that he got that from Mizzou.
Coming from the Midwest, he has what we would call typical Midwestern values. Those values went throughout the entirety of the firm.
He brings a lot of just really incredible insight. You can think you've covered all the bases and all the angles, and Roger just has a way of bringing different perspectives to challenges. He's just an outstanding man.
On behalf of the University of Missouri, it is my honor to induct Roger O. Riney into the Mizzou Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Came up the wrong side. You're good. Thank you. I always like the way Donald Trump goes. He goes like this. And then he pulls it down to the right height. So I didn't forget my reading glasses, thank goodness. Thanks to Paula. Thank you, Dr. Choi and the Missouri Alumni Association for this unexpected honor. It's been over 50 years since I graduated here, and I can't believe the wonderful changes that this campus has undergone. Makes me very proud to see the growth, and I admit, when I graduated from Kirkwood High School in 1963, I really didn't consider coming to college close to home. Missouri just seemed a little too close and a 2-hour drive. So I ended up at Oklahoma State University, civil engineering. It made sense at the time, but not forever. During the '65 Christmas break, I got a job at Edward Jones as an unpaid temporary intern. It was a fantastic experience, and I learned a lot about what brokers do and how the markets worked. That experience pretty well set the stage for me to decide an engineering career may not be what I wanted to do. After my first 3 years at college, I was getting a little bit restless. And on the way home, after my junior year, I made a detour through Columbia to visit a friend. It was a day just like this. I'm telling you, it was a day just like this. Wow, what a difference. I couldn't believe it. The sun was out. The grass was green. Everybody was running around on little motor scooters with girls on the back. I said, oh my God, this is heaven. So after giving it probably 2 full days of thought, I decided that maybe I should transfer to Mizzou. And I did, just like that. I got an apartment out on West Broadway, and as you might expect, all those visions from May, all those finer things of life, never quite played out for me. Too many hours at the library, I guess. In fact, it was not until 1977 when I met Paula. Found the girl I've been looking for. Got married in '79. She said, what took you so long? I said, it was only a couple of years. I had my back door covered, you know, just in case. We have 3 children, 6 grandchildren. And what a blessing she's been in my life ever since then. But I digress. My interest in the stock market did not fade. And in my 4th year of school, I decided to go ahead and finish the engineering degree, and then get an MBA so I could learn more about business. When I finally got out of school in '69, I went to work at Edward Jones for $400 a month as their first management trainee, which was not a job that was well defined back then. I believe the engineering, problem solving, and the MBA business classes here at Mizzou were absolutely invaluable in being offered a partnership in 1977 with that firm. It was fun every day at Jones. Every day it was fun. As they say, you find a job you love and you never work again. How true that is. By the end of '79, I decided I wanted to run my own firm. Can you imagine the audacity? The discount brokerage business was new and growing very fast. In 1980, opened a discount brokerage firm called Scottsdale Securities out in Scottsdale, Arizona, with an ex-Jones partner. I bought him out in '85 and changed the name to Scottrade in 2000 because by this time, almost all of our business was being transacted online. The firm did well, and we grew a lot over the next 17 years. The growth and success of Scottrade I believe, was largely due to the caliber of people that we hired, the caliber of people that we hired. Regardless of the position, we didn't hire the most expensive people. We didn't hire those from most prestigious elite universities, but we did hire thousands of nice, hardworking people you enjoy working for the rest of your life. Over the years, I've heard a lot of parents say that their son and daughter didn't want to go to college too close to home. They wanted to get away and spread their wings. And I always think to myself that they really don't have to do that. There's a wonderful institution close by called Mizzou that can give you everything you need to put you on the track to happiness and well-being. Keep it close to home. Tell people that. Thank you.
Let's have another round of applause for our Hall of Famers this year. Thanking you for emphasizing finest and the first and finest homecoming celebration in the world, right? We have a special guest, by the way, that's joined us. That he got in here for Mr. Riney's speech back over here. Truman, welcome to the show. You're a little late. We didn't save you a salad, but you're in good shape. And we're going to wrap up this tradition with another tradition we have here, and that's the singing of our alma mater. I want to invite Truman and all of our students to come on stage. So come on up as you get a chance to do that. I'm going to remind you that we have a dessert reception across the hall in the great room. We'd love for you to join us there. And while they're coming up, President Choi, you got a score prediction for tomorrow? I don't know if you do those or not, but I'm putting you on the spot, and hopefully I won't get in trouble for doing that.
I don't care about the score. We're going to win.
We're going to win. That's all we need right there. I like it. So if everybody would please stand, we're going to sing our alma mater, and then I want you to join us for dessert. I want you to have a great homecoming. Do what you have to do, have fun, and then let's get over and beat those Gamecocks tomorrow. M-I-Z. All right, take it away when you're ready, folks.